As we gear up for CattleCon, we're excited to highlight some of the great work being done by Florida's beef producers. Matt Fleck has a look at an 8th-generation rancher who manages his land and cattle with an eye towards the future.
On a steamy Florida morning, it's not unusual to find Matt Pearce on horseback, moving cattle from one pasture to another. Matt manages his cattle and the land, as his family has been doing for generations.
We're out here on the landscape trying to provide habitat for wildlife and the cattle that we care for. We're also caring for the land. It's not just a cattle ranch that we're just deriving all of our income off of. I mean, we have an enjoyment. I'm 8th-generation Florida rancher that's enjoyed the landscape, whether it be hunting or the conservation or just, seeing turkey come off the roost in the morning.
In addition to his cattle, Matt also manages water that flows over and around his land. This provides valuable wildlife habitat, and it filters the water before it flows to Lake Okeechobee and eventually the ocean.
The perception is that the ranchers along the river are the ones that are polluting, the lake. And I think this would be typical across the country that if we were polluting our resource, then we couldn't be sustainable and we couldn't pass it along to the next generation. And that's hard to comprehend from the folks in town or in the urban areas, but what we do to the land is gonna affect our next generation. And that's what we're raising, the next generation to come care for the land and make their livelihood on it. And it is important to us. We're not only in the beef business, but we're in the conservation business. We're protecting the land, we're recharging the aquifer, we're storing water. All these benefits, it's kind of a trade-off. We do these things for the general public, and the trade-off is buying beef and consuming safe and nutritious product.
As a past president of the Florida Cattlemen's, Matt is a believer in the value of cattlemen working together to advocate for the beef industry, not only through his state organization, but also through the work of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association.
I'm an NCBA member because I feel strongly about our association and how they represent us in Washington, D.C. I'm active, I go to the meetings, I try to go to Washington, D.C. as much as I can, but they have a full staff that's very in tune to the issues that are going on, from international trade to our markets. I've got all my trust in NCBA that they're looking out for me. And that's a small token that I can do to have that representation, because I couldn't hire that team on my own to represent me.
Though there's never a shortage of work to do on the ranch, Matt is looking forward to taking a few days away to attend CattleCon 2024, which will be an easy drive for him.
The next NCBA convention is going to be in Orlando, Florida, which is about an hour and a half north of here on the north end of the lake. I'm excited to show off Florida and what we do down here. Every state's different, but Florida has its challenges and its benefits. But I've been to the NCBA convention for the last 25 years. And with the trade show and the meetings and the networking, I mean, it's an awesome experience that I would encourage, all of my fellow cattlemen to participate in.
In Florida, I'm Matt Fleck for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.